Welcome to Employco HR Chat. I'm Rob Wilson. Thanks for joining me this week. With me is Jason Eisheimer, our Vice President of HR.
Hi, everyone.
Thanks for checking our HR chat out this week. So, Jason, topic this week is something that really grew a lot over COVID is telehealth and navigating telehealth, how to use it, pros and cons. So it's become a big use during the pandemic and as we come out of the pandemic.
Yeah, so pre-COVID, as everyone can guess, telehealth, most people, when they had sick visits or routine physicals, they would go in person to their healthcare provider. Mm-hmm. But as soon as COVID hit, that April of 2020, the telehealth, the virtual, whether it was a phone or Zoom call, those skyrocketed. Since then, it's kind of come back down to earth, but it's still a lot higher, the usage of telehealth compared to pre-COVID. There's a lot of great uses and great circumstances to use telehealth or virtual health. There's couple of drawbacks here and there, but in most part, I think it's going to be here to stay, and we'll kind of steadily see it increase over the next several years.
Are you seeing you can get an appointment quicker, or are you just they don't last as long? Are they schedule more frequent? What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. So the appointments tend to come a little bit easier to schedule, especially on the patient side, where if I can take a lunch break or someone with mobility issues. For example, my father-in-law's got Parkinson's, and it's hard to get him in and out of cars because he's just, so it's easier to do a virtual Zoom call with him. We can do this almost any day, any time, and it doesn't take a lot of prep work. So especially on the patient side, it's easier to do the virtual telehealth visit. May not get the best result especially if you need kind of that physical examination. But yeah, even doctors are liking it where in and out, you kind of can be in a conference room, the doctor can schedule a little bit easier. A little bit more difficult if a doctor's running behind schedule to have your nurse or administrative assistant call all the people and say, hey, our telehealth is going from 3:30 to 4 and reschedule that instead of just waiting in a waiting room.
And so hopefully, they're a lot more punctual. There's nothing worse than sitting in a doctor's office for 30 minutes waiting for a doctor. And, everybody's important, but there's nothing worse than waiting in a waiting room. But I think you're seeing more and more of it even post-pandemic, and if it's helps your waiting time, if you can get the diagnostics, you're not driving. Someone from our office was sick the other day, and he did his doctor's appointment via video, and said it was a pretty easy process.
Yeah, especially if there's fears of contagious, if someone thinks they might have contagious or COVID or some other communicable disease, it might be easier to do the telehealth rather than get into a doctor's office and potentially spread that to others.
Any difference in your deductible or your healthcare costs with it?
So usually the copays on telehealth are a little bit lower than your in-person. So maybe instead of a 30 inpatient primary care physician copay, it might be 10 or 15 or 20. So you do usually save some money on these telehealth, virtual health visits.
So check your plan. I doubt it's on your ID card yet, but check your plan and see if it might save you some money as well.
Yeah. So all of our clients that are adopting into one of our big master plans, we typically can save them money, but we'll also kind of help communicate to our clients how that copay works, encourage your employees to use it, because in the end, it saves money and it saves kind of those renewal dollars and future increases.
And time.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us. We try and keep the HR chats quick. If you have any questions, need some HR support, reach out to either of us at employco.com or HR@employco.com. Happy to help.
Thank you.